Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. The Golden Bachelor Season 2 lead Mel Owens made some shocking decisions when it came to choosing his hometown date recipients, following the self-elimination of one of the women. Mel, a 66-year-old NFL player turned lawyer and divorced dad of 2 sons from Detroit, Michigan, began his journey with 23 women and had narrowed them down to 6 before the hometown dates. Mel's final 6 Golden Bachelor Season 2 women were Carol Freeman Branstein, a 63-year-old family manager for baseball all-star Freddie Freeman from Villa Park, California; Cheryl Steele, a 66-year-old retired U.S. Treasury worker from Lakewood, Colorado; Cindy Cullors, a 60-year-old retired biomedical engineer from Austin, Texas; Debbie Siebers, a 65-year-old fitness professional from Denver, Colorado; Nicole Briscoe, a 64-year-old yoga instructor from Miami Beach, Florida; and Peg Munson, a 62-year-old retired firefighter and bomb tech from Las Vegas, Nevada. Although Mel had strong connections with the 6 remaining women, he had to choose just 3 for his hometown dates, during which he'll meet their families and friends. Here's who Mel selected and which woman shockingly self-eliminated from the Golden Bachelor Season 2 before the hometown dates. The Golden Bachelor Season 2's Mel Owens chose 3 women for his hometown dates. After a one-on-one date with Cindy and a group date with Carol, Cheryl, Debbie, Nicole, and Peg, Mel chose Cindy, Debbie, and Peg for his hometown dates. Mel had previously had one-on-one dates with Debbie and Peg, during which they'd built strong relationships, and he's been smitten with Cindy since premiere night as well. The Golden Bachelor Season 2 contestant Carol Freeman Branstein self-eliminated. Carol had hoped that she'd receive the final one-on-one date before hometowns because she was concerned about bringing Mel home to meet her family without ever having been on a date alone with him. When he chose Cindy for the last one-on-one date instead, she made the heartbreaking decision to self-eliminate from the show, telling Mel that she didn't feel that they had a strong enough connection, which shocked and disappointed him. Mel sent home 2 Golden Bachelor Season 2 frontrunners. Because Mel chose Cindy, Debbie, and Peg for his hometown dates, this meant that he sent home Cheryl and Nicole, who seemed to be frontrunners to win his heart. Cheryl had received Mel's first Golden Bachelor one-on-one date, and she told him on the last group date that she was falling in love with him. He told her that he couldn't wait to go to her hometown, so she was devastated to be eliminated right before his hometown dates. Even though she was heartbroken, Cheryl told him that he had 3 women who were amazing, so she wished him the best. Nicole and Mel had a strong physical connection, and he'd chosen her for a special dinner after the comedy roast group date, but they never had an actual one-on-one date. She'd become the villain of the season when she expressed her desire to use the show to become an influencer to the other women, although Mel didn't know that she had said it. Nicole also took credit for baking lemon bars for Mel all by herself that all of the women had helped to prepare. Although they seemed to be developing a close bond, during the last group date, Mel stated in his confessional that Nicole said a few things that gave him pause when he asked her where she saw herself in 5 years. She told him that her goals included wanting to build and monetize her Instagram presence and to write a cookbook of plant-based recipes. She also asked him for a kiss for the camera. Mel even stated that perhaps these concerns were what Golden Bachelor contestant Robin Rocha, who he had eliminated the previous week, was talking about when she warned him about some of the women not being genuine. When Nicole said goodbye to Mel, she told him that when his relationship with his final choice didn't work out, because it probably wouldn't, then he should call her. She also said in her confessional that she was surprised by the outcome, but it was just the universe's way of saying there was something better for her. Nicole also stated that she'd like to be the next star of the Golden Bachelorette. Mel's Golden Bachelor journey began with controversy after he made ageist comments on a podcast, stating that he only wanted to date women aged 45 to 60 and that he would cut any women over the age of 60 from his cast. However, after meeting the women, he's formed some beautiful connections with them. Hopefully, Mel's hometown dates will help him to fall in love with Cindy,
The sun
Debbie,
hung
or
low
Peg.
over California's wine country, the air shimmering with the kind of golden light that could make even heartbreak look beautiful. Mel Owens, 72, stood at the veranda of the Vineyard Resort where the latest episode of The Golden Bachelor was filming. His reflection stared back from the tall glass doors. Silver hair combed back, crisp linen shirt rolled at the sleeves, and a soft smile hiding a heart that had been tugged in 3 directions. He had started this journey to find love, not fame, not drama. But this week's hometown dates would test everything he thought he knew about love, loyalty, and what it meant to start over late in life. Behind the cameras, producers whispered. The crew sensed something electric brewing in the calm of the afternoon. Mel had to choose 3 women out of the 4 who had made it this far. Each had captured a piece of his heart in different ways, but only 3 would get hometown visits. Only 3 would have him meet their families. Only 3 would still believe in a future. And yet, even Mel didn't know which 3. He sipped his coffee, watching the sun melt into gold over the vines. He thought about Cindy, the gentle art teacher from Colorado who painted hope on everything she touched. Ellen, the fiery widow from Texas whose laughter could fill a stadium. Maria, the soft-spoken Italian baker from Boston with eyes that saw straight through him. And Tanya, the glamorous, fearless entrepreneur who'd turned heartbreak into empire and whose charm melted even the toughest hearts. Mel exhaled deeply. Tomorrow, he'd have to shatter someone's dream. Mel, are you ready? The producer asked, her earpiece buzzing with chatter. As ready as I'll ever be, Mel replied, straightening his jacket. His heart was thudding harder than it had when he proposed to his late wife 40 years ago. Inside the candlelit ceremony room, the 4 women stood in sequined gowns, their eyes reflecting hope, fear, and the possibility of forever. A piano melody filled the silence between heartbeats. The scent of roses, champagne, and nerves mingled in the air. Mel took a step forward. The camera zoomed in. Tonight, I have to make choices that I never imagined making at this age. You've each shown me a different kind of love, laughter, kindness, courage, and grace. I wish I could take you all home. The women smiled faintly, trying to stay composed. Cindy clasped her hands, whispering a prayer. Ellen's fiery eyes glimmered with a mix of hope and steel. Maria blinked back tears, and Tanya held his gaze, confident, unshaken, or pretending to be. Mel picked up the first rose. Cindy. Her breath hitched. She stepped forward, trembling. Will you accept this rose? Of course, she whispered. Tears glistened on her lashes. Applause erupted from the crew. Mel's hand trembled slightly as he lifted the second rose. Ellen. Her red lips curved into a proud smile. Always, Mel. Then came the third rose. Only Maria and Tanya remained. Tension thickened like fog. Mel's chest ached. The air seemed to slow. He closed his eyes, saw Maria's quiet devotion, Tanya's daring spark, and then Maria. The room gasped. Even the producer blinked. Tanya froze. Her practiced poise faltered, eyes darkening with disbelief. Mel stepped closer, whispering, You deserve the world, Tanya. I hope you find it. Tanya exhaled sharply, nodded, and forced a smile. Then I hope you know what you're doing. She turned, heels clicking against marble as she exited into the night. The cameras followed, catching every tear glinting like diamond dust. Back inside, Mel stood still. The weight of his decision pressed heavy. He'd just made the most shocking cut of the season. And the world, Bachelor Nation, would never stop talking about it. 2 days later, Mel found himself in Colorado, stepping into Cindy's world, a small town painted with murals, laughter, and the scent of pine. When Mel walked in, she ran to him, wiping her hands on her jeans, before wrapping him in a hug. "I was terrified you wouldn't come," she said, her eyes misty. "I couldn't not come. You remind me what hope looks like." They spent the morning painting side by side, laughing as Mel accidentally streaked blue across his shirt. Cindy painted his portrait, not perfect, not polished, but raw and real, the way love looked at 72. Later, she brought him home to meet her 2 grown daughters and 3 grandkids. The little ones adored Mel instantly, calling him Mr. Bachelor. Cindy's daughters were protective, but warm, grilling Mel about his intentions between servings of apple pie. As evening settled, Cindy took Mel outside to her backyard, where fairy lights twinkled above a small wooden table. "I know I'm not the flashiest," she said softly, "but I'd give you a quiet, honest love. No cameras, no spotlights, just us." Mel took her hand. "That sounds like a dream." But even as he said it, his heart stirred with uncertainty. Cindy's love was gentle, maybe too gentle for the storm inside him. Texas was hot, and so was Ellen's spirit. She greeted Mel at the rodeo grounds, wearing boots, jeans, and a confidence that made the crowd cheer. "If you can't ride a horse, you can't ride with me," she teased. Mel laughed nervously. "I can try." The scene turned playful and cinematic. Mel wobbling on horseback, Ellen laughing so hard she nearly fell off. The chemistry was undeniable. She was bold, teasing, and alive. Everything Mel's life had lacked since losing his wife. That night, under the stars, Ellen cooked him chili and told him stories about her late husband. How they danced in the kitchen every morning, how losing him made her build walls, and how Mel somehow tore them down. "I didn't think I'd ever feel butterflies again," she whispered. "Then you showed up." Mel smiled, but his heart ached. He wasn't sure if it was love or nostalgia. Ellen's son later pulled him aside. "My mom's tough, but she's been through hell. Don't play with her heart, man." Mel nodded solemnly. "I'd never." But he wasn't sure he could promise forever yet. Boston's chill bit through Mel's jacket, but Maria's warmth melted it instantly. Her bakery smelled like cinnamon, coffee, and comfort. When she saw him, she wiped flour from her hands and hugged him like she'd been waiting her whole life. "You look hungry," she said with a grin. They spent the day kneading dough, dusting sugar, and sharing secrets between bites of cannoli. Maria's parents, old-school Italians, grilled Mel relentlessly. "Are you serious about our daughter?" "She's not a game, signore." Mel looked him in the eye. "Neither am I." Later, Maria led him to the small church where her late husband's memorial plaque rested. She said, "I loved him deeply, but I believe love can happen twice, if you're brave enough to." Mel felt something shift inside him. Maria's love wasn't just gentle or exciting. It was grounding, real, forged from loss, yet full of light. He realized then she saw his soul, not his fame. That night, back in his hotel room, Mel sat by the window, staring at the city lights. His mind spun with memories. Cindy's kindness, Ellen's spark, Maria's faith. And then came the knock. When he opened the door, Tanya stood there. "Tanya," he whispered, stunned. "I had to see you," she said, her voice trembling. "You made a mistake." She stepped inside, tears glistening on her cheeks. "You cut me off because you scared me, because I'm not safe or predictable like the others. But I'm the one who'd fight for you. I'm the one who wouldn't let you fade." Mel's heart raced. The woman he'd sent home was here, defying the show, the rules, and the cameras. "You shouldn't be here," he said softly. "Maybe not, but neither should I be living without telling you this. You're the first man since my divorce who made me believe again." She kissed him, gently at first, then deeper. Mel didn't stop her. Not immediately. When he did, it was with a whisper, "You deserve honesty." Tanya left before dawn. Mel sat in silence, torn between what was right and what was real. The final rose ceremony
After the final
loomed.
rose ceremony, the mansion was quiet, yet the air was thick with tension. Crew members whispered, producers scurried to manage social media, and Mel sat alone on the veranda, replaying every choice, every look, every word from the previous night. News headlines had already started rolling. Mel Owens breaks Bachelor tradition, invites eliminated contestant back. Chaos at the final rose. Ellen, Maria, and Cindy react. He scrolled through social media, his stomach twisting. Messages poured in, from fans, friends, and strangers alike. Some praised him for following his heart. Others accused him of playing games, being indecisive, or worse, reckless. But one message stood out. It was from Tanya. "Meet me at the pier tonight. No cameras, no drama, just us." Mel sighed, a mix of relief and apprehension. Some choices were easy, others carried weight he couldn't escape. Meanwhile, Alan had returned to Texas, her heart still raw. The reality of being passed over stung more than she expected. Her son noticed it first. "Mom, are you okay?" he asked. Ellen clenched her jaw. "I'm fine, just disappointed. But I don't regret anything. He's 72 and knows his heart, but maybe not what love really looks like." Ellen channeled her energy into her work, hosting a local charity gala. Reporters asked about Mel Owens, the Golden Bachelor, and her hometown date. She gave a measured, graceful response. "Mel is a lovely man. I wish him the best. Sometimes love is about timing, not the heart itself." Yet at night, she would scroll through fan videos of Mel and Tanya, clenched fists and unspoken words leaving her restless. Cindy retreated to her studio in Colorado. She painted, but not the cheerful murals she was known for. These were deep, moody canvases, swirling in blues and purples, capturing her sadness and hope at the same time. Her daughters noticed. "Mom, are you thinking about him?" one asked gently. Cindy smiled softly, tears glimmering. "Yes, but love isn't always about possession. Sometimes it's about blessing someone else's happiness, even if it isn't with you." Cindy sent a postcard to Mel. "Thank you for showing me love again, even if it was just for a moment." Mel held it tightly, torn between guilt and gratitude. Boston was chilly, and Maria baked her heart into each loaf of bread, trying to push thoughts of Mel aside. Yet, every time she kneaded dough, she imagined his hands, broad, gentle, unsure yet eager, guiding hers. Her father, ever protective, watched her quietly. "Do not let a man confuse your heart, Maria. He is older, experienced, but perhaps not ready to be grounded." Maria knew she was right. Her love for Mel was real, but there were layers. Grief for her past, hope for the future, and a fear that letting him go might be the only way to protect herself. Tanya had returned to the city with one goal: win Mel's heart without the cameras or scripted drama. The pier was bathed in moonlight, waves whispering secrets as she waited. When Mel arrived, the tension was palpable. "You came," she said, voice soft but fierce. "I promised. I need clarity, Tanya. You turned my world upside down." "You're not the first man who tried to play it safe," she said, "and you won't be the last. But I'm here because love is worth the chaos." They walked along the pier, hands brushing, hearts thumping. They spoke about loss, fear, hope, and the courage to pursue happiness at any age. By the end of the night, Mel knew one thing: Tanya had ignited a spark in him he hadn't felt in decades, a reckless, undeniable pull towards something wild, passionate, and frighteningly real. Weeks later, the show's producers invited Mel to a reunion special, a live broadcast where all 4 women would appear. Cameras rolled, fans cheered, headlines flashed across screens. Ellen was radiant, Cindy graceful, Maria composed, Tanya defiant. The host leaned in. "Mel, you shocked the world. But tell us, do you regret any choices?" Mel paused, thinking about every smile, every tear, every stolen moment. "I regret nothing," he said finally. "I followed my heart, even when it scared me. Love isn't a contest, it's a leap of faith." The audience gasped when Tanya stood, taking his hand. "And sometimes the leap is worth it," she said. Cindy and Maria smiled softly, a quiet acceptance in their eyes. Ellen gave a knowing nod, her fires still burning strong. The cameras captured everything, but the real story happened off-screen. The quiet moments, the tender conversations, and the love that dared to break every rule. Months passed. Mel and Tanya's relationship became a story of whispers and glimpses away from the glare of reality TV. Cindy focused on her art, creating a gallery of love and loss that drew crowds from across the country. Maria opened a new bakery, dedicating each pastry to hope and resilience. Ellen hosted charity events, thriving in independence, but never closing her heart. Mel and Tanya often returned to the pier where all became real. They'd sit in silence, listening to the waves, watching the sun dip below the horizon. "Do you ever wonder if we chose the right way?" Tanya asked. Mel smiled, brushing her hair back. "Love isn't about choices being perfect. It's about daring to feel, to risk, to hope. And I'd choose this chaos every time." The golden hour bathed them both in warm light. 2 souls, imperfect, courageous, and unafraid of the world.